Hello guys, so let me turn this down, so otherwise I'm going to get a repeat. I'm going to continue where we last left off yesterday. So basically this is going to be episode 3 on packet 3, and this is what we're doing at the moment. So need to tip some of these out. Because there's a lot to crack on with. Even though I've got no one on there, I'm just streaming thing on there so we can, continue, because this is quite a big project and there's going to be a lot of parts to this, so which I do want to finish it, because this will be a lovely sort of nice way of knowing and things like that. So first things first, we're going to need a light. Is that a light piece? Is that light grey or dark grey? I'm going to say that's a light grey, and that is 2, 3, 4, 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't think that is 12. Let me double check. Because there's so many different variations, and this set is not for the faint started, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 12 in total, so it's going to be a dark grey, isn't it? 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so straight away, so it ain't the light grey, it's going to be the bloody dark grey. So current version on that, fine. Okay. Oh, now this one, I'm pretty sure it's got the light up. That's part of the coin door. So we're going to need a black 2. Yeah, we've got a black one there. So one of that goes at one end. So let me put it up there. So let me show you one up that end. So, which is great. Right, and then we need a long, looks like a long black one, which looks like that. It does. That then looks like it goes like that. So we've got black bit there, and then it's straight down. So hopefully on that front. Now we need to take one of these grey ones. I could just tell by that. I'm trying to get the correct orientation as it is set up in the book, so it just makes it easier for me to follow. So yeah, turn that down a little bit because I can't hear myself echoing. That's it. So we've got 2 strips and a long black one, so, which is great. Next page, we're going to need one thin long one separate, like one of these, and a 4. We should have a 4 flat, he says. It's going to be in there, isn't it? 4 flat, and it is 4 flat is in one of the boxes. So we've got one of these and one of these short ones, so we can actually see. So what we need to do now is put have a little look. So yeah, looks like it's going to have to go at the side, so we put it at the side there, so it goes all the way down, and the 2 should have 2 remaining. So what it is, you look at it, it looks like you've just got a 2 sticking out from that point, which we're good. Now we need another one of them boards. Now this is what gets me, is the colour. Is it the same colour scheme? Because we only had one grey. I'm going to double check just to make sure that pin is correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need another 6, but one's a black. 2, 3. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, that's an 8. So we can't use that. Another 6. That looks like another 6. 2, 5, 6. No, that's another 8. Ah, there it is. There's another 6. Brilliant. I didn't think they'd put it 2 different colours because it would have been rectified. So we put that on top so it's bridging like that, which is fine. Now the next part we're going to need, again, next part is another thin long black one, which is going to be one of these, and again thin black one of these. So we're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to do the same thing again at the end of the day. So right, we've got that there. It looks like we've got to extend this. This is going to be part of the top that's going on, and again, so we've got it like a long part here, so you can actually see. So yeah, which is great, which is brilliant. Okay, so now what we need now is a long one of these. Actually, come to think about it, I don't think it is. Let's double check. Let me count up. 2, 4. It's a 12 in total. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, so it ain't that one. It's got to be. It's going to be one of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, it's one of these shapes. So we need one of them, and we need a black 2 flats. That's probably going to be in one of these ones. Yep, we've got a short black one there. Yeah, brilliant. So where do these ones go? So again, same thing, opposite end. We're going to put that at the end because this is going to be the start of the black bit, and I assume that then clicks on underneath, which it does. So we've got the part of the base build up. So it looks like that, which is going to be cool. So yep, that looks about right to where that is. One strip, both sides. Nice one. End of it. Oh Christ, for crying out loud. Right, we need, now I did see in that box there was all these long black pieces. It says 4 of the long ones. Well, we haven't got any of them, so let me dig them out. I think they're going to be in there. These look like them. Need a pair of scissors. Let me grab a pair of scissors and I'll cut them. And cut the top. Lovely. Put that in as rubbish. Looks like we're going to need 4 of these, because it looks like there's multiple of them. Yeah, these are flat, so I don't think there's going to be any of them. It's going to be these super long ones, which it looks like it to me. So it's going to be these ones here. So what we need to do, we've got 4 in total, which there is 4 in total. We need 1 of these, of the black ones, plus it says a block. Don't know where that is. Yeah, it's just showing you, just to make sure that the block it's saying on there, make sure that it's got the poppet side, not the smooth side, like them ones I just showed you. So, let me move these out of the way. So this is going to be the start of the build now. So what we need to do is flip her over, which is great, and take the existing 4. Now we're going to need to start building. Yeah, where is that? Is that going? Yeah. So basically, looks like 1 goes on one side there, nicely. We need to build this up. So I assume it's going to be the base. Oh no, we need to keep the, put that one at the end. Sorry, that's me doing it wrong as usual. Oh god, it's the only thing with that, because it's not built up yet. And we need to put the centre one there. That's it. We're going to flip her over and just give her a little snug push down. Make sure these are all landed down. So what we want to be left with is this shape, basically, which is great. So what we need next in is another grey one, which is the dark grey. Hold up, let me count in pins, because I think one of these looks like it's longer. So we got 2, 3, 4. So we need an 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 2 of them. We need a long one and 2 short ones. And that long one should be a 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's a 12. So it's a 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So we need 2 of them at the end of the day. So we can get the right one. So it's 2 of each. 2 of 2. So right, we've got them. Then we need to flip this back over on the side that I've got this. And we need to make the bottom part up here. So it gives it a bit of strength, because at the moment it's all flapping about. So it looks like where the top ones are, we need to put the short ones at the bottom. Right, basically, and then we need to take the long ones and just bridge it. That's it, there you go. Lovely. So we've created, just make sure these are all snug, because we don't want to end up just putting things on it. So yeah, so what we need is, we've got a nice sort of outline now. So it's bridged all of the existing ones. Right, so we're going to keep it, we need to keep it this orientation of the way I've got it, because otherwise you'll work upside down, basically. So let me put that to one side for a minute. So now we're going to need 1 of these super long ones. We're going to need, 2 of them. So it's 2 of the long ones, 2 of the cream ones, yeah, and a yellow short. Basically, so what we need, that's it. So right, now we want the right orientation, because we've got to start building this up. It looks like we need to put this going all the way. Oh, something has snapped in half. I knew that was going to happen because we've got to make it stronger with the Lego, and we need to do the same with the other side. Wait about that for a minute. We can sort that out. So basically we want to put it in between the seams, so just make sure it's just generally snug, because these don't, you know, obviously. Right, we haven't built the middle up yet, but we will do in a minute. We will do. So we need another one of the yellows, because I've just looked, it says 2 yellows, which we've got one in a corner. Basically, we need to put one at the bottom of each. That's it. So we've got that, and that's it. That looks about right. Now we need to put some bridging. Now I've got to get this right because of the orientation. It's got to come under the top part of that ridge. We don't want to go over it. We just want to be so it's just the right. It says if the Lego are going, it should do. And we need another one at the top of the plastics, of that top part of that plastic. At the end of the day, oh, she pops out. So what I normally tend to do is just give it a little bit of a snug fit with my fingers. It's like put it in between, and just because these, it's like all Lego at the end of it. So and then do the same again, and then you can fill it sort of like slotting. Now that's sort of like giving it a bit more tough, so it's just like a bit of a snug feel at the end of the day. Until we start adding more to it, it will give it more strength, but just want to make sure that it's just snug basically. Now she's all nice and flat basically, which is good. So we want to keep it in this orientation. So for future reference, you can just see how I've done that, which is great. It's all nicely set. That's flush. So we need to flip her over. And what we need now is another one of the black. And we need a smooth 2 of a flat piece. Probably not going to be in that one, is it? Probably not. No, knocked a bit of Lego on the floor. This is what I said about careful about Lego going all on the floor, because they colour baited for all the bits. Let's take my glasses off because I can't see. My glasses is only for distance. Are we going to find a smooth number 2? Preferably not. Not going to be in that bag, is it? Because they're not in there. They're big bulky ones. Yeah, we've got one. It's in here. It's in a bag of little bits. Great. So we need one of these and one of the small, tiny, smooth pieces, which you can clearly see. So you know what we need to do now is push that over onto that piece, and we need to put the smooth piece right in the centre of that. I could just think they're still not all snug. Wow. So yeah, this is what I'm saying about Lego. You've got to make sure that they're all snug. They're not snugged down. The other pieces, you think, why have I got a gap? Because looking at the gaps in some of these, I thought I pushed all these down, and clearly I've not. So they are now. They're all snug. So anyway, we've got the small piece right in the centre, which is great. So we you know, this is, like you said, there's still nothing holding this section up, but that'll probably be in the next piece at the end of the day. So you know, right, we'll put that to one side for a minute, because now we've got to build some pillars up. obviously for the back. So what we need now is, let me have a quick look, guys. It's going to be one with 4 holes in, and we need 4 of them. 4, which is going to be these ones with a little hexagon hole in the centre. So you can clearly see they've got like a little cross in the centre. Need 4 of them. They're going to be in a little bag. I can see they are in there. So 2, that's 3. One more, and she's there. So we've got 4 pieces of that. We need a little black arm with the separate piece, so that's the piece we actually need. Which is in it. Good. We need, it looks like there's a few pieces in there, so let me tip these out, then I can know. So we need 2 of the little round ones, the grey pieces with the little couplings. So we've got these, so great, okay. We don't need anything else in here, do we? No, we don't. So we can put these away, because I don't want to. You don't want to lose these on the floor, because you're going to be short of putting it. You know, thinking, where's all my little bits gone? Why am I a piece short? So we need some bits out of here. So let me put them to one side. Tip these out carefully. This is why I've got a bigger. It's slightly damp because it's been still waiting to dry. So we need a little block of, we did have a little block of 6. We got 2 of them. Yes, we have 2 blocks of 6, which we've got, lovely. And we need 6 of the flat ones, so of the 6. So little flat ones on that. We need 6 of them. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, yeah, okay, got 6 of them, and we need 6 of the 2s. Alright, well that's interesting. So they're going to be in here again. So it's 1, yeah, 2, 3, 4, okay, that's 4. Oh, so it is 4. You don't need 6 of them. So it's exactly 4 of the flat ones at the end of the day. So we got 4 of them. So let me put these back in a bag so we don't lose them. Now these are part of the pillar build up. As I like I said, it's just easier. Nice. So let's build these up now. So we've got all the correct parts. Now we just need to put these in the right order. So first of all, we take a flat 6 and we take one of those number 2s and put it in the correct orientation, which is at the furthest end. So it's in, like, you know, so it's set like that. Okay. We need to take 2 of these and put them in the centres. Now, orientation with these little holes, they can't be facing, they need to be facing back and front. So you put 2 together, so you can, looks like you can put a shaft right through, and there's a hole right through the other side. So you don't want it going towards the number 2 on that front. And we put another one at the back, so we've created this basically. Now we need to take these and put 2 of the flat ones on top of each other. So we've got 1 on there and 1 again on the top of it. Right, okay, must be important because otherwise they wouldn't tell you. Now we need to take the black piece and thread it through and push it all the way through so it don't go no more, so it won't come from the side. And we've got a piece sitting on there, so it's a snug fit, which is great. Okay, which it tells you what to do. Yeah, okay. Now it's telling you to take one of the silver things and push it over the darn thing there, so to make sure it's got a snug fit. basically, and that's what it's told to do. So it's just pushed on, right? It says ×2, so we need to do this again. When it says ×2, you need 2 of them. So we'll take, looking at that, we need to do, well, it says ×2, but it says put the block, because we've only got, how many blocks have we got? We've got 4 blocks in total. We did have 4 blocks, I've only got 3. Hold up. No, let me count these out. The blocks are 2. No, it was 2. So it was 2 of these blocks. So basically what we need to do next then, once we've done that, is put a block on top of it, basically, on top of the other 2. So it says put a block on one. That's then done, right? So basically then, this is at the bottom and this is standing all the way up. So hopefully, now we need to rinse and repeat and do this again. We take that end and just copy it back from on page 70, step 12. So we need to rinse and repeat and just copy what we exactly done to there. So it just goes back to the beginning of that page that you entered, basically. Oh, I don't think that was paid to me in there yet. No, it's not. So that's got to go back in. So what we need to do then is do exactly what we done the first time. We'll make sure we put the square holes, the little ones where you poke the thing through. So I need another one of them things that I've got to dig out in a minute, which I will do. So we're going to put one on one, back on top, put that on top, and we need to find that little black, yeah, and it was in here. So, okay, so it was 2 of these, basically. Push it all the way through, because it doesn't matter, back or front on these. But once you push this part on, that's it. And it looks like these are universal, so it ain't going to make no difference. No, it doesn't. So now we've got 2 of these, and that's what we should end up with, right? Which is great, because it says at the stage on that part, it says ×2. We have got ×2. So now we take, on the page of 71, we make sure that we flip it around the right orientation. So we've got the little black notch facing towards, so you can clearly see you've got like the cutout should be at the top. Now these have got to sit on the pillars, and which way are these got to go? So these have got to be facing inwards by looks at on the page. So these need to be facing, so they're facing towards each other. So they're like that. So they sit on the pillars, and I'll show you. So you basically can see it. So it looks like this is going to be for a back end. So that's how it normally sits. Done, right? Which is great. Right, okay. Again, put it to one side. Now I'm going to need, how many do we need? 3 of these. We've got 3 of them, did it say? Yeah, 3. 3 of these type of cutout ones at the end of the day. So we've got 3 of them. And it looks like then we need to take this back. Right. We'll start at this side because it looks like it's got to go. And again, it doesn't sit, it sits slightly offset, and I'll show you how it sits offset, basically. So just be careful as you pull these down, because otherwise you might pull all this things back again at the end of the day. So the way it wants to sit, you want to have a gap in between, basically. This is where you need, so you need to skip one row, you need to skip one thin row and put it on the second, and we need to go that all the way down with the 3. So basically, so we got a nice long sort of line, so on the second row, not on the first row, and we have, so you should end up with something like that, basically, and you can clearly see. So we want to make sure these bits are facing you know, towards outwards and not inwards. So this side's nice and flush, so it's sitting inside, which is great. Okay, so what we need next is, let's have a quick look, because I can't see that book, it's too far. So we need one flat piece, might have some of the bits in here actually, so let's just double check before on it. No, we haven't got anything along here, unless we got two of them. I don't think we have. No, that's not going to be in there then, so it should be. Yes, they are there. So we need these two flat pieces of the grey ones, because I can't see anything else in that. No, so which is great. Okay, so let me go back to the little pieces again, tip these out and look very carefully. We should have one flat black piece, yeah, which is plain, so it's got no bits on it. Great. Okay, two of them. Now what else was it? There weren't no other pieces in there, was there? No, there's not. So we need, all we need is that one flat piece, so we can put these back. They're going to be in the other bag. Okay, put them to one side because I don't want to get mixed up at the end of the day. So what else do we need? We need a grey piece with one of these bits sticking up. Oh, we need two of them. So let me see if there's a source, another one. Yes, there is. So we've got to make sure that we want these type of pieces that's got the bits sticking up on that, just one piece sticking up. And we need two of the, we need three of the black pieces, which we have. There is three black ones, exactly three. Three separate black ones, because like I said, they allocate for everything. And we need five of the blank grey caps, flat ones. So that's 3, 4, 5. Now there is another one of them caps, so it didn't say on that. No, it says we need 2. Okay, that must be for part that's going to be shortly at the end of it. So let me put these back in the bag, that way I don't lose nothing. Right, so once we've got these, right, we'll put them up there because we're going to need this back, because now we've got to build inside. Obviously we've got to make sure that we've got some bits that we can put inside this, so when it all opens up, because it's going to be an interesting build. So first things first, it looks like I've got to skip 2 down and go inside with a blank grey just under that sort of grey notch. So basically what you want to do is skip 2 down from the actual left side, and then you can actually physically see, so it's like a little square, and then bring it down so it's on this flush side of what we put up. So we need to put one of them. Now we need to take one of them ones that's got like a raised single piece and put that next to it basically, and then take a blank cap, put that one next to it. Right, great. Now we need to take one of these long thin grey ones and put it on alongside. So it's, again, we're leaving the top part. There must be a reasons why they've left that, so it's got to be for something else. And then we need to rinse and repeat on the other side, but going down. So we need to put one at the top, one in the centre, one on the corner basically, and one of the last long grey in the centre. So you now got like this little box thing made up. So basically this looks like, you know, this is the correct orientation we need to do, right, which is great. We still ain't finished yet because we need to start building the bottom up. So we take one of the long plain greys and we leave one on that row, and I'll show you what I've done. So basically, because you've already got a centerpiece on there to bond this together, we now need to basically leave just one on the corner empty, and then move it up to the second part. And then again, looks like same thing again. Bring that in, plug it in, so now it looks like it's a long continuous piece. And again, go along, next piece, because you can skip that because you've got the other piece already on there, basically. And then we'll take the final piece of this and then put it onto the end, right? Now we've got a grey cap that it comes with, a grey one, and that looks like it's got to go directly in the centre. So basically you want to have 3 raised pins at the either side, so you know it's dead. So you've got one row at the bottom, 1 row at the top, and that's directly in the centre, basically. So that's how it goes. You can clearly see it, and we've got all the pins. We've got right up to here, so we've done that piece. So this bit is now done. What are we up to? Page 74. Don't worry, it's only 300 pages, over 300 pages. Yeah, it's pretty mad on that front. So right, we'll put that to one side for a minute because we're going to start needing some more bits. So we're going to want 2 of the light bricks, which there's only 2. 2 dark greys of the 8s, which there is. Oh, there's another 2 more, but that's obviously for another part at the end of it. Then they're identical lengths, so these are not different. They are the exact same length. So that's probably for another part that go on to this. And we need, now I did see that in there. I said to you there's 1 more grey with a raised part, and we're going to need that. So I said to you it might be for a later bit as we revision. Now we're going to start going to some of the blue bits. So we need 1 of the blues, which is grey on there, and 1 of the blue flat ones. We're going to need 1 of the reds, because again these are all the same size, and we need a flat long red, which is a 4, I think. That looks like a 4. It is a 4, yeah, 4, 1 of them. Right, so right, we'll push that back. Won't need the pliers for a minute, we'll leave them up there. So we'll bring it again, put it in the correct orientation when you're building this up, so that way you can clearly see. Let me just literally, there you go. Lovely. So what we need to do now is take the long thin blue one and put it in. Oh no, we take the greys and we follow it on that 1 flat edge. So we leave 1 and put it along that black, so it's lined with this and that long flat one there. So again, just snug, just lift it up ever so slight and just give it a firm push at the end of the day. Then we put in the blue, because then it's in the correct orientation. Lovely. I could just give that a quick snug. And if you lift it up to about a 30 to 40 degree angle, you can see that it is sitting flush. If it's not, just give it a snug fit, push it down. So we'll put another one on this end. There you go. So we've got a nice snug fit on that front. So we've got that in there and on that fit, and we need to put that end onto the flat piece onto there. So again, we're leaving a line on both sides, 1 single line. There must be a reason. We'll take the single and leave 2 and go on to the 3rd. So it wants to be, it looks like it's in centre of the red. So you've got 1 either side, which it is correctly. Now we need to take the bricks and put it directly in line where you leave 1 brick. So you've got to be careful here, because it starts pushing the bottom plate back out again at the end of the day. So you've got one either end of the brick, right? So it sits of that flat blue. Do the same thing again, sit it on there. It's a snug fit, and just, I can see it just kicked the bottom out ever so slight, and I've just had to push that in. So this is what happens. You really just want to give it a just slight, you know, push, because otherwise it's going to pop back out, and it's popped that one back out again. So Lego's always been like that. It's the same with Mega Bloks, and the Mega Bricks, the ones like that front. So right, we should be left with a blue and a red, basically. We want to put the long blue one on one side. Now, what type? Right up the top of that brick. So again, so you can clearly see, we don't want to go down below the brick. We want it so it's being flush at the brick, and it's the same with the red one. We'll do exactly the same, but on the other side. So it then just sits above. It just sits above that one notch of that, so you can actually see it. So that's how it wants to sit. So good. Right, that's good. Right, now we need to come back to the original. This is what I'm saying about, don't throw away the bags just yet. And when you finish, put them back in the bag, because it does state that in the book. So it doesn't say on bag 1, but I wrote on it bag 1. So we need to go back to bag 1, which was the very first part of building the Pac-Man characters and the ghosts. But we're going to need to pinch some bits out of this bag 1, and it looks like we do need it. So what we need to do, this is what I said, they allocate things for everything in here, so you should have enough if you don't lose the parts. You might have some spare parts over, I don't know. I've not known Lego to do that. You know, they normally allocate everything. So out of bag 1, which I wrote on it, bag 1, with a silver pen, I need to pinch this device that first of all locked the mechanisms on it, basically. And we need one of the pink squares. Now, in the bag 3, which I took it out from, which this is bag 3, this is where I put everything. You've got this rubber grommet thing. Now, this rubber grommet is obviously going to be for a part that need to be sits inside. So this must be for another part of the build-up. So what we need to do is that it's saying in the small bag that it gives you. Where's the little small bag? It's bag 1. Let's put bag 1 back over there. Now in bag 1 you should have had a little, yes, there is one in there. It's tiny, ever so slight tiny. It looks like a shaft thing, so it's grooved. It looks like a little cross. And there's got to be a reason why that. So you've got to make sure that you need, so these are from bag 1, right? So you take these back out of bag 1. These are from bag 3. So basically this is what we need to put back in. So it looks like we now take the little from bag 1. Now it doesn't matter which way this goes round, right? And this on the thing, because again it's plain, we're not building it up, but we need to sit it where it's situated, where it's like that basically. So this is how we need to sit the situation. So, you know, now we have to keep this round the right orientation, otherwise we'll run into a problem at the end of it. So what you need to do next then is put one side ever so slightly, not push it all the way through, so it is flush, because we now need to insert this, and this has to sit in between. So, and then we can push it all the way through, just keep on. Right, it's not going all the way through. Where's the little guiding pin? This is why I like to make sure. So like, let me try that again, because that should have pushed all the way through. Let's try the other side. So all the way through. No, it's not pushing all the way through as it usually don't. But if not, don't worry. Take something flat and just push it. until it's flush. So I've just used my pliers basically. So it won't push all the way through. So now we've got this bend. It won't twist or anything because that's what it's designed for. So it's basically, we've now got this piece. Don't know why, but the pin is now flush both sides like that basically. And that's what it's telling you to create. And now we need to take the other pink one. Well, why didn't it tell me that? See, again, it says 1, and then it says take the other pink one out of bag 1. Then why didn't it tell me to take the 2 out? So that I mean with the book, it's confusing. So you will need a reference or a guide. Take the other pink one out of bag 1 and put it on top. So then it creates like a sandwich. So it's like this, basically. And so we've got a hole in one side. There must be a reason why that will play next into the next part. But now we've got like a sandwich, so we put that on there. And what we need to do is bring this back to the table. And where that little grey situation one is, we need to make sure that where this plastic piece, what we put in, right, basically, we want that facing towards you. Not facing away, we want it facing towards you. And we need it so it covers that little notch up. That's what it's saying on there. It covers it up. And it's what it says on the book. So, which we've done. Right, okay, next page. So we're at page 76. Right, okay, so we need to go back into the bag again, the bigger bag. We'll take these back out. And that's a nuisance, but at least this way you'll know if you'll get the correct parts that you need. It now looks like we need 3 of them, these white flush ones with the 4 sticking on the side, which we need, and there's only 3 in the bag, so that is correct. We need 1 of the 5, yes, which is 1 of these, the long thin red ones. We need 1 of them. We also need, what else do we need? Anything from this bag? No, we don't need nothing from this bag, so we can put all these back. Lovely. One of them bits has fell out again. See what I mean? You have to be so careful with these bags. Right, okay. So we need 2 of these little round head type things, like a cylinder. We need 2 of them. We need a long blue one of these, which is only 1 anyway. Okay. Now we also need these type of bench type ones, and there's 3 in total. Oh, there is. We need all 3. So they look like a little bench with something sticking out of them. So they must be important. But we need them. Right, do we need anything else from this bunch? No, we don't. So we can put these back. That's it. We'll stand them up over there because we're going to come back to a minute. And we need 3 of these little green, again, they look like a tea piece, but they looks like a bench seat with 2 of the pins sticking out from the top. So we need these. Right, okay. We put them to one side. We now need to come back to this because we're building this from the ground up, I suppose. Right, now these look like they're going to be important. So first things first, let me start from this side where we need to be, and we need to put 1 of the rubber feet ones, because it doesn't show you the picture in depth, but we need to put it above the grey. So looking at it, looks like that one's going to be above the grey. Then we need to sit basically the square down basically, and it looks like, looking at that, because it's telling you how to build it. So basically, before we do that, right, let's build these white ones. So it's basically saying take the 4 and then make sure that these 2 are sticking up. and it says, oh, we needed the 3 red ones as well. I didn't see them. Yeah, again, there is 3 single reds of the 2s, which we do need. Right, okay. Okay, fair enough. So we take the flat end, and what we need to do is keep it at this orientation, so it's like an L shape. Bring the red and place it down onto the white, so you can actually physically see it, basically. So this is pointing away. Right, okay, fair enough. Then we take one of the green, and it looks like you've got to flip the green so it sits flush on top. And it does, it creates this, so it looks like that then takes up that space. So you've got a white, red, and then a green. Right, brilliant. And we'll take one of the blue chairs. While this is still facing this way, we'll take the flush back one, and it has to sit against the back flush of this white. We'll push that in, which it does, so it now creates this format, basically. And we need to do this 3 times, by the looks of it. So let's do that again. Backside, on the back side of that, then 1 red. Push the red in. Take the green. Sit the green on top of the red. Take the blue. Flush side to the flush side. Put it in. That is now 2. So we've now got 2 of these. We're going to do 1 more, which is great. Push this in. What we need to do is, this is going to be the last one there, so that'll put that in flush side to flush side. Now we've created 3 of these, which is great, right? We'll come back to them in a minute. So now we should have 3 of these, what the book's saying, which we have. They're like a pillar. We'll bring this back, and what we need to do now is put 1 of these pillars, what we just created, but it's the orientation that we need it in. So basically what we need to do, we don't need to stand it up. What we got to do is take the green side, flip it towards you, so the blue and the white is on top and the back is facing that way. It's got to be facing towards you, not facing away. It's got to be facing towards you. We need to put it next to that little red cylinder. So we need to plug that in, and it does. It creates. So you can actually see it. So you can actually see that it's now facing towards you, the blue section. Then we take another red cylinder, right, and put the red cylinder next to it. There's got to be a reason, right, and there. So we've got another red cylinder to put towards that. Take the blue. Right, hold up a minute, because that's interesting, because we've obviously got that something's not right here, because looking at this, why has that got to do, unless there's a small blue, which there ain't a small blue, because it's the only one size. If that was fitting on there, it looks like that's got to fit in between, and it doesn't fit in between. So something's wrong along this section. And again, following the book. This is what I'm saying about with the book being really sort of, you know, it's not a great guidance at the end of the day. So that's a strange scenario, because again, the red brick, even the red brick won't even fit alongside, unless it's, no, I've done that wrong then. So basically, yes, so it's got to sit on the grey, right? Okay, so these ones sit behind it, these ones sit on the grey brick. Yes, and the reds have got to sit on the grey. Right, oh, I'm crying out loud. Right, let me show you guys. It wasn't me, I've done it correctly. It's not being very helpful, which is not telling you. You need to sit these, not behind it, you need to sit it on the grey brick, not on the black. And that makes sense now, because now it should then sit flush, which it does. Put the blue right in between, and it does fit now. So we need to build another pillar up. So we'll take another white and a green one, blue. So we're facing it towards, take the red brick, put that next to it, which it does, it fits lovely. And take the other existing white one, we put it on the side. So we want this. See what the book wasn't saying, I thought he said put it behind, because it's the way it's shown you on the picture, it's really confusing, but you don't. You actually sit it on the grey brick, and then you should be left with one brick, slide bricks on the fronts there, which we are definitely doing that. So on that front, which is great. But yeah, that's really bloody confusing on that front. Right, okay. Right, the next part, we need the little blue bag again. Now we're getting less and less parts now, which is a good sign, because we're coming up to the end of the bag build up. So we need 2 of the little circle blues, which we have. We should have some. What else? Is there anything else in here I need? Yes, we need 2 of these little bright beige ones again. They look like a lantern with a circle in, which we have got. We need this again. That looks like part of the coin door mechanism. At the end of the day, any of the single black bits? Yes. We need 2 of these, like single little arms, which is great. Yeah, okay. The other bits are not in here, so they're going to be in the other bag. They're like a little round circle ones. They're not in here. So let me have a quick look. Which I can see from here, which are these ones. And we need 2 of these, so basically. So don't need to tip the bag out because there's less getting in the bag now. Right, okay. Cool. So first things first, we take the blue and the beige lantern and place it at the front of the lantern, basically. So be careful where you put these, because if you put these in and ping across the room, you're going to think, why the bloody hell is that gone? You know. So yeah, just this is the reasons why I like using a deep towel, because it could absorb. And again, you can clearly see, this is why I work on white a hell of a lot, even with electricals, because if you lose a spring or a clip, you can clearly see it. If I tried to put that on them beige tiles, I'd probably be racking my brains out thinking, where's that gone? So no, it makes sense. So we've done that. Now we need to take one of these round cylinder ones, these sort of, not cylinder, like the oval shaped, and again we need to put it on one side, just one side, so it's facing towards it. Yes, that's what he's saying on there, basically. And we take a black one of the blue and face it so it's covering the second of that pin up. So basically you can clearly see it's covering the other circle. So hold up, got to get the correct size. Yeah, so basically you don't want that facing, you don't want it facing sideways, you want it facing, so the orientation, so it's standing up. There must be a reason, because it looks like that has to clip into something. We need to rinse and repeat that again. So again, where the blue side is, inside the thing, and then take the little black arm one. We don't want it going horizontal, we want it going vertical, so we can then stand it up, and we got 2. Right, we'll take the board back in, again correct orientation of how this is on that front, and what we need to do now is pull it where this is going. Right, now this has got batteries in. It does tell you to pull it out, basically, which I need to pull out, basically. And what it does, if you look, you will need to do this now, otherwise you won't be able to, obviously once this builds together, you won't be able to pull that pin out. And what that does, look, it lights up. So this is like a coin door, when it looks like you're applying credit, because it's got a hole in. So take that little black pin out if you're buying this new, or if it ain't got batteries in. There's a little Phillips screwdriver, little posi drive, undo that, and they look like they're tiny batteries that they use in that, watch batteries. So it probably need one of them watch batteries put in. So what we need to do now, we now need to put this in. So the orientation, what we need is take where we're sitting on this grey and red, we won't touch the black because it tells you not to touch it. We'll move this on the orientation that it's got to be facing the front. The black has got to be facing the front. So again, one at one side. Now we can take this, right, at the end of the day. And what we need to do, because there's orientations, now that rubber piece has to be facing this back piece, right? So we'll plonk that on there. So again, and you can clearly see when you push it, it makes contact. And we'll use the other existing black piece to put it on the side. So it sits in between that last grey piece there. So you've exposed the red. So the red's exposed on that front. That's how it's telling you. No, got that wrong. It's got to be sitting. Sorry, that's wrong. It's telling you to sit it up one, not that. So, God, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Where's my spatula? No. So again, move it up one so it sits on the red. So there must be a reason why they've done that. So that's it. In the book, it's saying that that sits on the red and grey, and the black arms sit so that it's countersunk in. So it's basically, so you can see that there's one notch at the end of it. So yeah, and it's even telling you in the book to take the tab out. I've just seen it in there. So please take the tab out. So basically, when you press it, you can actually see it lights up. So on that front. So yeah, beige at the back on one of the reds and greys. Great. Okay. Let's move it on to the page 78. Now we're going to need some bits. We're getting a lot less bits now, I've noticed. Hell of a lot less bits, which is great. So let me go back into this bag, and we need one of these long grey ones. Well, there's only one long grey one, orange one in there anyway. Now we're going to need back to the small pieces. No, we do need some bits out of this bag. They look like beige, little quarters. Like they look like little miniature roofs. So hopefully, 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them. And the other ones are in the other bag, which they are, I can see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely. Right, okay, so we've got 4 of them. Now we bring this back in, because we've got to build it. We're doing it page by page, if the page ain't confusing enough as it is. So we'll take the existing. Now we should have 4. That 4, where that sits, looks like that sits right on top of where that needs to be. So it's flush, which it does. Sits it perfect, so that gives it that snug feel. Now we take the existing ones of these. We'll take a little one and put one now on the existing grey and blue pins, right? So we'll take a little quarter section and just, oh dear, that's not easy to put in, is it? And just line it up. So we put one in the corner. Let me show you where I put it. So right near that side of that cylinder. Now we do the same. We'll take the long ones and just put them on the side. So we're going to put one on there, one on there. Just fill them up basically. Yeah. It looks like we need 6. Right, okay. Put a small one on there, so I need some. I need to take them all in by the sounds of it. Right, we need to put one of them little small ones next to it, so it makes that. Go back into that bag and take the remaining ones out, because obviously it looks like you need them all. And there's only 2 more in there, which is right. It should be about right. Basically, so we take, again, we'll take the small one, pull it one in the corner. So you've got one either side of that pillar, and then basically push that one in, and the last one, push that one in there. So now we've got this sort of fill. So it's filled all in the front here now. So basically, which is cool. Make sure that these are all snug and down. Because Lego is always been like, you know, you can easily pull bits off Lego at the end of it. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable. I mean, they have over the decades that they've been going, Lego, and they've improved. The Lego, you know, the 1980s Lego was fantastic when I had it. So you can definitely feel its premiership stuff. Right, so we put that at one side. We're going to need some more bits. We need to take the remaining one of the reds, one of the remaining greys, because it's saying one. We need an orange book, and we need a, where's the orange? Orange 2, which there is one orange 2. Yeah, okay. And we need a 4 of the number 3s. Yes, 4 of them. And there is 4 in them in there, I can see. 3 and 4. Oh, 2 of the orange bricks, sorry. You didn't see it. Told you, my eyesight, terrible. Right, okay. So, again, put these to one side. Bring it back in the correct orientation that we need. And what we need to do is, because we're building this up, we'll take the long brick now, and it looks like, is that sitting? Yes, it looks like it's sitting on the blue, grey, and the red brick. So it don't sit behind, it sits on it, basically. So first things first, we'll take one of the tall threes, put it at one end on the blue. That then gives you the correct guidance to put the long grey right the way along, and it leaves you another 3 to put the black one at the other end, which it does. Perfect at the end of the day. So the remaining 2, we now need to start building this up. So we take the 2, we've got to take the long red brick, and we need, oh no, hold up first, no, before we do that, take the 2 remaining long 3s and put them at the side at the end of the grey bricks, which it does like that. So you can clearly see you've got bricks on there, so it's a short. The red one should fit on top, which it does, so it snicks, so it's sort of snaps fast. And then we take the remaining 2 orange bricks and put one on one end and then one in the other. So we've created this type of pocket, and that's correct. So this is the way it's supposed to be done. That's what it's saying on there. So okay, fair enough. Well, we are at page 80, so we are getting a lot less bits now. So we're now at the last remaining 2 light blues of the 6, which we have. What we need then is we should have 1. Is that 1? I can't see. Yeah, 1. Yeah, there's only 1 in there basically. So 1 of the light blues and of the 3, and we need, what is that? 1 of the brick? Yeah, 1 of the blues. Right, okay. Of the light blues of the single ones. Right, okay. And where do these go on the board? Right, interesting. They sit on top of these. Now it's going to start covering this cylinder up. So we'll take the end one there, put 1 over the cylinder, of the red cylinder, put 1 end. And again, hold up. No, I've done that wrong. The 3 goes up 1 end, right, because 1 end's longer than the other. Yeah. So we put the 3 at 1 end over this cylinder, and then we'll take the long, that one, that makes it look longer. That's correct. Now this one should fit snugly, which it does, because it don't need to be extended, because it's got the correct length. And we'll take the existing number 1 put it on top of that little red cylinder so it looks like it's continuous at the end of the day, and it does, so you can clearly see. That's easy enough. Okay, right, now we need one of the dark greys, one on the long reds, if we've got a long red in here. Yep, there is one remaining long red. Now we've got two of these flat red ones, and we need a corner yellow, two corner yellows I should say. They look like they plant together. We need to make one of these up, so this has got to be for a reason. So first things first, we'll take the existing of these front bricks. Now it's saying on there the front plates ones have got to be facing towards you, not facing away. So you take one end of the flat grey brick, put it on there. Now it's facing towards you, so that's the little notch. It's got to be facing away, right? Okay, fair enough. We need to repeat that twice. So we've extended it, which we have, so you can clearly see the notch is now cut, so that stays away, this stays towards you at the end of it. Then we'll take the existing L and make a little sort of like cut thing, which it does, so you can clearly see the way I've done it. And then we'll take this long red one and put it along the back, so you can actually see. So you should see a grey sort of cup out basically, right, which is great. That bit's done. We'll take that, and where's that now going? It looks like it goes on top of, it looks like it sits on these bricks. So basically, we've still got a gap because you can't see the gap in there. There's got to be a reason as why they left these gaps. But this sits on top and it overhangs and it comes flush on this side of where these bricks go. Basically, so it looks like it on that front. So yeah, that looks about correct. So it's then, because again it's angled, the way they angle it like this in the book, so you can't get to see what's around the corner. Not great. They should give you multiple angles and not one angle at the end of the day. So anyway, it's not overhanging, it's sitting flush, but it overhangs on this side. That's what it's saying, you know, that's what you can clearly see. So it covers the holes up on there. You can still see at an angle that these are exposed. So that must be sitting correctly. Okay. Page 82. We need to take one long of the blues, because there's only two more of these left now. And we need to take one of them reds again. How many of the reds? Two of the reds this time, because it looks like we've still got another 4 in that bag at the end of the day. And what we need to do, again, facing the correct orientation, we need to put these facing towards you, not facing away. So what we need, we've got this, so you can actually see the bricks facing towards you. So you want to keep it the right orientation on that front. And we need to bring this back in and put this it looks like it's got to be again facing on top of the, yeah, so basically it sits in between this section here. So basically, so again we've got this overhang. Looks like this is a build up, and there's probably going to be a reasons why this sits on something at the end of the day. So yeah, okay, now that part is now done. We're going to take the last remaining brick of the grey and take another 4, bloody hell, so we need to take the last 4 of the red bricks. Blimey, now these have all got to go all on one, but again facing towards you. So again, the correct orientation, the 2 little bricks all want to be facing, basically. These don't have to hang, these all got to sit flush. This is what they're saying. And this will be the remaining section that will be going on there. now sits again facing. So now we've got this sort of feel, so it's all overhanging and it's sitting flush behind at the end of the day. So hopefully, and it all lines up. There's nothing out of alignment at the end of the day. Just double check your work, make sure that everything is snug, because when you're bending on that, remember you're also bending these, some of these out. So these, until it has strength go on the top of it, but you don't want to push too hard where you start flexing all of this underneath. So yeah, you just got to be careful and just keep checking your work. Right, okay, so we'll put that to one side for a minute. Right, okay, this is going to be interesting. So we now need some remaining small parts. Now I think for the remaining small parts, I think now you can afford to put these out and you won't need to keep putting these away, because looking at it, there's hardly any pieces now, which makes it easier, so you don't have to keep searching for the bags. And this is how I work exactly. I just find it's easier. Everyone might do it different. So we need one of the single twos, flat ones, and we need an inverted roof one of the black. Now we need to put the single black on top of the back piece, not the hollow piece on that, so it fits on top of it. So there must be a reason. And then we need to take the last remaining green piece, this is why, that then sits on top. So we've got this sort of look, basically. So this is standing up, that is now made a piece. There's, and that piece is facing at the back at the end of the day. So we put that to one side. We take one of the remaining last, is there two? No, you got one more then, basically. So we need to take that piece now and put that on top of the green and black, so it's sandwiched. We don't put it on underneath, we put it on top. That's what it's saying at the end of it. And then we take one of the remaining flat pieces and then put that on top of that, so now it's flush. And if you look, it's now created a nice flush sort of look on top of that, so it's, you don't see anything. So it's going to be a decoration piece, I assume, at the end of the day, on that front. Right, put that to one side because it's telling you not to put nothing on at the moment. So we'll take the remaining now of one of these. We've got one with a little hole, which we need that. And the two remaining little black pieces, which we've got them. Right, now what we need to do now is, let me have a quick think of where to put these. So what he's telling you, right, take one of the flat bricks, put it on the back, stack it again. No, we don't need to stack it again. Stack the centre brick on top of it, and then put that piece on top of that piece. So we've got a hole, and it's sort of like, you've got it the correct type on that front. Now, this is where it comes into its own play itself. What we need to do now is, no, not just yet. So what we need to do, it does tell you to put it, it does tell you to connect to it. So basically what it does, because it's the orientation, so first things first, we'll flip it upside down, so we've got that, and we'll take this piece and we'll make sure that the green is facing down and the slope piece is facing towards the wall. And basically what you need to do is invert the other piece and then slot it in, so we've got this sort of look. Basically this is the look we need, so we want to make sure that you've got that correct orientation. This again, it must be for a reason. And then we'll take the remaining last piece of this 4, and again we'll add that right at the end of the day. Where's that got to go? That then 4 connects to the back, to the bottom piece of that. Now it's created an L shape with this piece sticking out, and that's now looking like that piece there, right? So that's the feel that you want. So again, We ain't finished yet because we're still building this up. So now we take the last remaining piece of one of these. There's a little white bean with it looks like a cap for some reason at the end of the day, and we look like we need just one, not the others yet, we don't need them. We need one of these little cylinder ones again, so there's got to be a reason at the end of the day. So we'll put the cap on top of that so that don't go anywhere, push it down so it's just snug. So I assume this is going to be this looks like an handle to me that we're building at the end of the day. Now we'll take the remaining, flip it up and slot the white piece straight in, right, at the end of the day, which we have, and that's how it looks like, right, so that's how it goes. So just make sure, right, okay, before that, it looks like, before you do that though, you need to insert that single piece so it's snug all the way up to that white piece at the end of the day, which it is, then pull it in, right, so it's raised on that front, so you can actually clearly see, right, so you can clearly see of the orientation how that's raised up. So yep, that's fine, right, so we'll leave that there for a minute because we've still got to make some pieces up. So we'll take one of these flat round discs. There's a flat one, which not these ones have got like that's like a button. Oh right, okay, that's the wrong one. So we need one of these ones with the raised pins, a flat one, and there's a button one type at the end of it. So hold up, yes. So you need all three of these pieces. Now we got to make this up basically, and I was right, it is like an handle basically. So what we need to do is take the, let me have a quick look of how do I build this up. So we take the flat one of these where they're hollow, and then we'll take this one, I assume, yeah, we'll take this one and then pen it so it sits in between. So then now it's got something to bite, and then take the existing flat one that then sits on top of the pin. So now we've got like a flush sort of fill. So, but inside you can slide it onto this, and that's what it looks like. That then, oh, let me push that in. There you go, she's pushed in. Just be careful you push that in. So basically, this looks like a button pushing, basically, and I think it pushes on that rubber section. I think that could be for the sake of it. We won't know that yet until we get to the next page. So that is now all done. Yep, I think I was right. I'm thinking that is exactly it. It is a button thing that you push on. So basically, it pushes onto this device. So now we need to mount this now. And now we need to get the correct orientation. So the remaining, the way it's sort of set, right, we need to put the green one where the pink one goes, right? Because again, if you look, one's slightly higher, one's lower. So basically, it slots in, and if you look, it now uses, because what it does, it pushes now down on the rubber, and the rubber pushes it also, gives it its spring, but also that ball pushes that little notching, pushes it in, which connects to give it its little button, which is really cool. I like that. So yeah, that's cool. I like the idea of that. That's done. A little bit complex, but nothing too major. Right, we're going to need the last two remaining bricks on this one and on that front. Now we need to start adding some of these in. Oh no, two singles, sorry. The two single of the blues. Right. Bring this, oh, let's come back off again. This is what I'm saying about with Lego. You know, at the end of the day, you've got to be, Lego's really cool, and I love Lego, but you just got to be so careful with it, because you can still pull bits off while you're working at the end of the day. So where do these blue ones go? Do these blue ones go at the back of this? Yes, it does. So again, the blue ones go on the build up of where we've been putting in red ones. So that's where it sits, right in the ballpark of that. Gives that snug feel, which it does. So it just sits in between them parts where it had a little bit of a notch cut out. Done. Okay. Now we take the remaining 2 and we take the remaining 3 blacks. Right, at the end of the day. Now we need to do the other side. Right, at the end of it. So, first things first, before we put them on, we take these flat ones now and put them on top of them bricks that we just filled that gap in, which it does. So you can clearly see, right? It sits on top, right on top of them. So you've got like a gap. The remaining 3, we need to repeat again. Leave a strip, and we need to do the same again. Leave a strip, but again, flush side inwards, not outwards. So, and again, that covers that up, which it does. So now we've got that. It looks like this is going to be part of the build up. So you can actually see on the red, it's actually quite light because it's just a diode at the end of the day, isn't it? You know, an LED diode that lights up. Right, so that is now done. Simple enough. Right, again, we have got remaining 4 bits out of that bag. Now they might have done that for a reason, because they've done it at bag 1, which this is bag 1 or bag 2, that they give you bits over. I know why they do it, is because just in case you ping a piece across the floor and you're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I've lost it, I can't continue. So Lego quite kindly did throw you some extra bits in at the end, and I followed that by the guide, so you should be alright. So that on that front is now up to, that was complete bag 3 at the end of the day. So that's where we're up to at the moment. We've managed to build the front up, we started building all the underneath, we've made a little LED that there lights up, which now when you push the button on the arcade, on that, it looks like you've added credit basically. But in episode, so we're up very shortly, we're going to be up to episode 4. So I'm going to end the stream here and have a quick coffee break, and I'm going to quickly come back and go do another live stream to episode 4 of the Lego Arcade. So thanks for joining, and I will see you soon.